Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is Mike. This is episode 412, baby. 412.
The Pittsburgh episode, baby.
The Pittsburgh episode. Yeah, this is the 412th episode of the two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. What up, Mike?
Oh, man. I'm excited. I'm even more pumped up now that I know it's the 412.
That's right. I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about the game last night. I didn't watch it in its entirety like I wanted to, the San Francisco 49ers Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're going to talk about the result here. Giants win 30-12. Now, this is the third straight game.
49ers
had scored 30 points. They scored 30 points against us, 30 points against the Rams, 30 points against the Giants. Exactly. They'd given up 7 points to us, 23 points to the Rams, and 12 points to the Giants. This is the kind of team that that you see every year, and this is going to be the team that's either going to be in the NFC Championship game or they're going to be in the Super Bowl for the NFC. Unless something terrible happens, they have a little bit of the best of everything going on right now. The running game, their defense, everything for this 49ers team is clicking. But 49ers they scored 30. It's not hard to figure out the average of what they're scoring right now.
No, like even me and my epic math skills can figure this one out.
3 straight games scoring 30 points. Unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable that, a team could score that much anyway to begin with, but to score the exact same amount every week for 3 weeks is pretty wild.
And you keep that average up, you're going to win more than you lose. You're going to end up with a really good record, probably like 13, 14 wins. So this
is the only team that I'm seeing right now that's really doing this.
Yeah.
And you look around, and last year it was the Bills. Last year it was the Eagles. Last year it was the Chiefs. Last year it was
the Bengals.
But right now, the 49ers, as much as it pains me to say, because again, I don't want to see these guys win a Super Bowl for the obvious reasons. But this is the team right now that's looking like, in my opinion, the clear favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of one team right now that's playing in week 3 that would match up well with this team. But luckily for the rest of the league, we do still have 16, 15 weeks left. But very, very impressive. I have to say, I have always kind of overlooked San Francisco for multiple reasons. But there's not many reasons you could look over the San Francisco 49ers team. Like they're finally proving themselves.
They are, and that defense is lights out. And it looks like they finally have a quarterback. He looks to be their guy. People want to say that, he's a system quarterback. That's fine. He's running that system perfectly. He's 8-0 as a starter. You have 2 really good wide receivers, and one didn't even play last night. Brandon
He still hasn't lost in regular season, has he?
He hasn't lost in regular season. The only reason he lost is because his elbow was blown up. So the dude is like he has like that hybrid Big Ben career going. Have that awesome rookie year, blow your elbow out at the end of it. But right now, he speed ran it, but he's coming back and he's looking really good. I didn't expect him to look this good. I thought he'd be out for half the year at least, the way that injury was reported. And for him to bounce back the way he is, he's looking really good. It doesn't help, it doesn't hurt him that he has some great weapons and great line and a damn good running game, but that shouldn't diminish what he's doing in people's eyes. It's kind of like Ben's early part of his career, like, oh, he had this great defense, great offensive line, blah blah blah. You still got to go out there and make the throws, and he's making pro level elite quarterback throws when called upon. So I hate to see them be good, because like you said, I don't want them to win another Super Bowl and tie us, but as a sports fan, as a football fan, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty
There's
impressive.
Talent all over.
And McCaffrey, he's on pace to have a record season.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned Brock Purdy, the quarterback, who's yet nobody's found a way to beat him. Whether he's good, whether he's great, whether he's good, whether he's not, whether he's a system quarterback. At this point, it doesn't matter, because whatever he is, nobody's found a way to beat him. And you know what? This is only looking better for these guys. They got a lot of good things going on down in San Francisco.
And there's like system quarterbacks used as a derogatory term, but I don't think it should be. Look at Tom Brady. He ran that system in New York or in New England to perfection.
Yeah.
And he was a system quarterback. Like, transferred over to hockey real quick. People, you want to say grinder is a bad term. People say Sidney Crosby is the greatest grinder of all time. He's the top 5 player of all time. So these terms that are meant to denigrate players can actually, should be used in positive terms, because if you're a quarterback and you have a system that you can run perfectly, fuck yeah, call me a system quarterback while I rack up win after win after win.
Steelers injury report as of yesterday. Patrick Peterson, he was in full practice. DeMonte KZ with the calf practiced full. Minka with his chest was limited. Marcus Golden with his knee was limited. Isaac Siamalu was full and a non-injury related injury. Also, Darnell Washington was limited with a knee.
Yeah, I'm not liking this.
Gunner did not practice with a concussion, and Larry Ogunjobi did not practice with a foot.
I think just get used to seeing Ogunjobi on the injury report.
Yeah.
He's going to be there all year, limited practice, but come game time, I think they're trusting him to just be ready for the game.
And it also has, as I kind of paused, the Patrick Peterson is also a non-injury related report. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But him and Siamalu both do have that, but they both were full practice yesterday. So, whatever's going on with them, I'm not sure, but it would be nice to have them in the lineup. I'd like to see Patrick Peterson do something.
It'd be nice. Or, let's just put the kid in there and see what Peasy Jr. can do.
I mean, of course you want to see this, but again, this dude, this veteran that we brought her, and the thing is, he's 32 years old. It ain't like he's 92 years old. People are treating him like,
I know, like he's decrepit.
Yeah, come on, he's not an old walker. He's 32. Come on, people.
Especially you can, he doesn't look like he's slow. It's just, he's a crafty veteran. He'll figure it out. New team, new system. Didn't play a lot in the preseason, which I think was a mistake. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also,
I just want Porter in there. I just want to see what he can do.
The big news, Mike, the big news everybody's talking about, of course, is Matt Canada.
Blame Canada.
So this has 2 parts for me.
Yeah.
One, in quote, Matt Canada says, if you have the answer, you could let me know. Matt Canada not sure how offense can get its mojo back.
That's comforting. That's what your bosses want to hear.
And the scary part is they're gonna let him ride this contract. I Mike, at what point do you think where do we have to be record wise, season wise, everything going on for Matt Canada to actually be cut during the season? I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. This iteration of the Rooney is just as befuddling as Bob Nothing.
It is.
It by now, you like to think, the owner at some point has to step in and be like, hey, this isn't working out.
The guy's literally asking
you're done.
The public,
you're asking fans,
media,
for a way to figure it out.
If you have the answer, you can let me know. And even if this was a tongue in cheek, I don't think that it is, because come on, he stinks. He doesn't have Mike. He has no answer. He has nothing,
none whatsoever.
This is one. This is bad from top to bottom.
It's frustrating because we saw the end of last year, yet the offense was starting to roll. It wasn't we're not gonna, we weren't Kansas City, we weren't Buffalo, but for the players we had,
we resembled a normal football team.
We resembled a normal football team. And in preseason, yes, preseason, I know, but still, those last 8 games, you're like, okay, there's something here. Him and Kenny are getting a nice little rhythm of chemistry, and then all of a sudden, there's nothing. His offense is so bad, the players can't even execute it.
I know.
You're watching, Daniels last year was one of the best guards in football. So was Samalu. They can't block anyone. I don't know what the hell is going on. Like it's it's easy to blame Canada. It's easy to blame the quarterback. There's the easy people to blame. But when you watch the film, the highlights, whatever, it, people are just lost out there. The only one who doesn't look lost is George Pickens.
Yeah,
But yeah, Matt Canada, I that comment, why say that? Why say that? Or is he just
exactly.
out there just being a dick and knows that
If that's
the
what it is
Rudies
too, I mean,
aren't
if
going
he's
to
being a
fire him?
dick, F off. Screw you. Get him
Yeah,
out of here. I get him out
yeah,
of here.
yeah.
Nothing good is going to come from him, Mike.
No,
Nothing.
no, no. This is where ownership needs to. If like if Burkle and Lemieux, were the owners and like a Penguin coach said this, you think a Penguin coach would have said this under their tenure? No. You think a Steeler coach would have said this under Dan
You see
Rooney?
Mike
No.
Sullivan looking square at the camera and saying, guys,
Can you
if
figure
you
this
have
out?
the answer, can you let me know? Because
You'd have
I
been
don't know what I'm
fired.
doing
You'd have been fired.
to the point where my guys are literally running into one another. And it's crazy to
Yeah.
me, Mike. Second part of this, Kenny Pickett has been given by Matt Canada the freedom to change his play calls. Boy, is this getting interesting?
Yeah, because if he has the freedom to change calls, why isn't he doing it? Is he because last year, we saw times where he would call plays. Sometimes it'd work, sometimes they didn't. That's what happens when you're a quarterback. But he's not doing it this year. He seems so different from the end of last year to this year.
Well, I'm gonna tell you part of the reason why here in a second. but my concern with this part of it is Matt Canada. So
But,
you're basically giving up on what you're doing because you can't figure out what to do into
yeah,
the capacity where you're asking the public what he should do. Now, well, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe the quarterback that the second year guy, he should just go ahead and call the play. I'm like, this is bad. This is a really bad situation. And let me tell you why. Kenny maybe just might be a little bit more scared than he was last year in the pocket. Kenny has been this year so far in 2 games the number one highest pressure rate. He's had the number one highest pressure rate, which is 48%, and he's now been hit number one most often amount of times in 2 games. So no, Kenny's not playing good. I'll readily admit this, but again, the guy's been he's getting killed back there. He's running for his life. I don't know if there's many people out there that's going to stand in the pocket and take it. If they do, good for them. I'm just saying right now what's going on for us, this is a disaster waiting to happen. And I at just any point, and your boy Eminem was saying that they're going to deceive everybody and probably win these next 2 games and be 3-1. And you know what? This is the first time in my life I agree with Fat Boy, because I do believe they're going to beat the Raiders. I do believe they're going to beat the Texans. I do believe people are going to start buying their Super Bowl tickets again. But you know what? This has so many levels of things that could go wrong in it right now. Mike, I'm having a really hard time believing that this team has the capability of even pulling it together this season to do anything special. I'm really falling back into your 9-8 that you went with all off season. This is kind of where I'm landing right now, and that's if we're lucky. I'm just going by the speculation that it's probably going to get better at some point in the second half of the
you would
season.
hope.
Maybe
You would
they'll
hope.
turn it up like they did last year when we thought they were dead meat, after they played the Eagles and the Bills. But and even if that happens, that's where I'm saying they're going to land it. At this point, that 9-8 sounds like it's a real good record.
Yeah, I know all off season I was saying 9-8, 9-8, 9-8. I got caught up in the preseason hype and predicted 11-6.
I did
That
too.
was yeah. We should have known better. All off season we tempered everything until then. But I don't think we're going to win this Raiders game, and that's just me being negative. But our run defense, man, we can't stop anyone. And the Raiders, Josh, they still have Josh Jacobs. I think is their number one running back. If they re-signed him, I know there's franchise issues, but I just don't see us stopping the run. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. I just don't see us stopping him. Last year, we held this team in check, but that was at the end of the year. This Raiders team completely fell apart. I just don't see it. Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro. I don't think Pat Pete and Akila Witherspoon are going to be able to keep those two under control.
What was crazy was last year we were able to shut down the number ones very easily. I mean, we didn't
Yeah,
struggle. We had the one game against Philadelphia where that guy scored 3 touchdowns. But
yeah,
besides for that, we really are second. We regressed, Mike. We're going backwards
yeah.
everywhere.
And this is where I think we talked about this in the offseason. This is where we're going to miss Terrell Edmonds. He wasn't a flashy guy, didn't have, his stats didn't wow you, but the way him and Minka controlled that back end, communicated with everyone in that secondary, that's a huge loss. That was a huge loss. That's a big loss right there. Clam's a loss up front. Not as big as I think a lot of people in the media wanted to make it out to be, but it's still going to affect the run game. And it was run defense wasn't that stellar last year either. Even when he was healthy, they were
And
hit
I'm
or
unhappy with
miss.
this Clam anyway. Did you see? Did you see on Twitter lately
What's he do? I saw the Shakira
the
one.
Shakira thing? Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're really cheering everybody up. Why don't you just go get better and stop it?
just sit down, shut up,
This is
and
what my hips look like in therapy rehab. And he showed there's a picture of Shakira.
yeah.
I don't want to see. I want
No
you to
one,
just
no one
stop,
cares. No one cares.
get better, and
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, and then come in
You're
and
not
like
funny. That's not
no,
funny.
no. People eat this up with him. The guy's a clown. I just oh god, if he would have if his on field production from wire to wire matched his antics off the field, it'd be okay. But he's buddy with the media. He always has that good quote, and then so
And
he
that's
gets
why
away.
we'll never get rid of him. He'll be here till the day he retires because
Yeah,
he is such and good with the media.
yeah.
And no matter how much he doesn't perform,
Mhm.
we're stuck with these people. We're stuck with them. That's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
But hey, we got TJ Watt and Highsmith and Minka, so I think we're good. But no, I just don't think we're gonna
Oh,
bounce back
Minka's
this game.
hurting, and then how long is it going to take to one of these other two get hurt? You know what I mean? Come on.
Ryan, you're starting to sound like me, my friend.
But there's nothing that
I know,
says that that's not going to happen.
I
It's
know, I know.
literally
I know. But
just a
I
matter
think
of
Minka's.
time.
I think Minka's gonna play. He'll be fine.
It'll be when
Uh,
we start doing well. When we win a game
oh
or
yeah,
two,
when we start
then we
rolling,
get happy.
that's when the injury
When
happened.
we're 3-1, and then here comes the
I don't.
the palace
Mhm.
shit,
We're gonna be
poured onto us.
we're gonna be 2-2. We're gonna be 2-2. We're gonna lose to the Raiders because we have a losing
I don't
record
think there's
against the
any way we
Raiders.
could lose to
We
these
haven't
guys. These
beat
guys are really
we haven't
bad.
beat them
I mean,
on
we're
the
really
road
bad, but
since
they're
90.
really
We
bad.
haven't beat them since 95 on the road.
The quarterback in Houston, he's out this week. You're the dude from thing. What's his
CJ
name? CJ
Stroud,
Stroud. Yeah,
he's out.
he's out. I just
What
saw that
the
he's not starting.
Whoa, that's big news. As long
But
as he,
if
man,
he's still out when we get them, I think that this is a no
I
brainer.
think, yeah,
But you're saying we're going to lose to the Raiders, huh?
I think we're losing to the Raiders.
See, I think we're going to do okay against their running back. It was Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is the guy. He was
Yeah,
killer number one last year. I mean, there was nothing that we did that even resembled
yeah.
stopping the guy.
Well, I
But
don't know. I just don't think we're going to match up well against them. I just had that feeling. Jimmy G's going to throw all over us.
we can't cover anybody.
No, he's completing
There's people open all the time. If you watch these
oh
pass
yeah.
plays, there's
Mhm.
always somebody wide open.
He's completing 72% of his passes. Yeah, he's 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, but it's just I think they're gonna tear us up. I'm so just not ready for this game.
Quan Alexander, on the other hand, he does have confidence on the Raiders because they have not allowed a single sack this season, Mike.
Yeah, I saw this one.
The Raiders have not allowed a single sack. Quan Alexander says, yeah, well, we got 2 dogs on the end, so we're going to see all about that.
I like it.
Me right now, I'm having a hard time within myself pulling any confidence out to think that any of these guys are saying anything that's smart. We do got these 2 good players. Again, this is the kind of game that one of them is going to go in and get hurt. I just, Mike, I got a bad feeling about this. I got a bad feeling.
This is the game where TJ Watt will have like a Myles Garrett type game, and everyone will see look, he's overrated.
Yeah, he only had 3 tackles and 1 forced fumble, no sacks.
Yeah, it'll be one of those type of games, and people will say he's overrated, but I don't know. I think that defense is going to be what keeps us in this game, at least on TJ Watt and Highsmith. That run defense, I am very, very worried about, and the secondary. Oh my god! The more I keep talking about it, it might be a bloodbath. Because like we haven't beat a Raiders team in Oakland or LA or Vegas since '95. We have a losing record against this organization. It's just that organization you can't beat. It's like when the Steelers go to play the Eagles, no matter how good or how bad they are, just chalk it up for a loss for the Steelers. We can't win at the Link. We can't win against the Raiders on the road. It's a loss. I already had that marked as a loss anyway, I think, in our preseason when I was so pumped up for this team. Now that I'm starting to be down on them, put it down for a bigger loss. I don't know. I don't know. Until the offense can figure out what they're doing, until the run defense can figure out what they're doing, it's going to be every game's going to be touch and go. It's been like this for the past 4 or 5 years. These games are just going to be nail biters till the end.
See, me, I'm finding every reason why we should lose.
Well,
But at the end,
most
but
people
at,
will
but
win
at
with
the
a
end, I'm
blowout.
like, well, we're going to beat the Raiders.
Yeah,
So
I know, right?
I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously.
I know. Hey,
Yeah.
I predict. I said we were going to lose last week and we won. So
The Fryermuth versus Robert Spillane matchup is one that should be exploited by Pittsburgh. If
every
not,
matchup involving Spillane should be exploited. This guy had made 2 plays his NFL career, and people want to act like he's
and
great.
luckily we don't have Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry on our team, so he should not have
He shouldn't do anything. But the way our line's playing, he's probably going to run free and have free lanes to run through.
2023 on pace stats, going into week number 3. Mike, if these players continue on the path that they're on, these are the numbers they will finish the 2023 season with. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I saw some of these.
Tua, if he continues on the same path that he's on, he will finish with 6,077 yards.
That might be an NFL record. I don't want to say, but I think that
This
might
next
be an NFL
one
record.
Is really doable. This is will be slightly over what the record is right now. I think that if this player stays healthy, they have a really great chance of doing this. Christian McCaffrey, Mike, if he stays on the same path that he is on, he will finish with 2,278 yards, taking the single season record.
I think he can. I think he can do it.
I do too. With
Staying
this
healthy,
offense and this team, and
he's another guy, another one of those backs like Saquon. Things be going well, then boom, out of nowhere, an injury sidelines him for a few weeks.
That'll you know what? As good as they are, that will thwart a little bit. That, you know what I mean? Because this running game is so big right now in Sanford, and they haven't had this is a dominant running back.
Yeah.
He's one of the best running backs in the game. And this year, yard wise, he is the best running back in the game.
Yeah, their backup's not bad, but he's not at that level.
So if he continues, he will be the best single season rusher. Wide receiver, Mike. If Justin Jefferson continues on the path he's on, he will finish with 2,626 yards on the season.
That should be a record too, right? Or close to another record.
I'm not sure. I do know that the next guy. What's this receiver, Puka Nakua?
Oh, he's on pace for like 5,000 catches.
212 receptions if he continues on the path he's on. 212 receptions.
This is a guy coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I like
they do that. Yeah. I don't know how they can get these receivers. Watt, if he continues on the path he's on, he'll finish with 34 sacks.
It would still not be enough to say.
And Myles Garrett will win Defensive Player of the Year.
Exactly, because he do.
Because he gets to the backfield.
Myles Garrett
doesn't make the play. He just gets back there faster.
Yeah, TJ Watt has won, finished second and third. Myles Garrett has not finished in the top 3 in voting for Defensive Player of the Year ever in his career.
Finally, Zach Wilson, if he continues on this path, he will finish the season with 34 interceptions thrown.
Keep him out there. I want to see if he can hit that mark.
I do too.
You know what?
I mean, what are they going to do? The Jets really don't have too many options. You see some of these free agent names coming up, and they talk about possibilities, but half of them are crazy as hell. It ain't even ever going to happen.
It's great, yeah.
Tom Brady and Colin Kaepernick.
You're right.
Kaepernick hasn't played in 10 years.
I know.
You'd be better off going with Wilson.
Cam Newton. Yeah, like some of these guys that are just done. Like 10, 15 years ago, you'd be like, all right, cool, yeah, that makes sense. Now it's like no.
Also,
they can. Hey. I keep saying Mason Rudolph, Quinnen Williams. That's a good trade.
Yeah, I'll take anything from Mason Rudolph at this point. The NFL Hall of Fame nominees for the Pittsburgh Steelers were announced. There were 10 names, Mike, 10 possibilities of people that could be nominated to be in the Hall of Fame this year. Hines Ward, James Harrison, Casey Hampton, Joey Porter, James Ferrier, Carnell Lake, Gary Anderson, Hardy Nickerson, Mike Vrabel, and John Kuhn, the fullback. John Kuhn.
I think Gary Anderson should make it. He was the best kicker of that. Him and Morton Anderson were the best kickers of that
And he's
era.
still the all-time leading scorer for the Steelers.
Yeah, he people want to say, oh, special teams is an important part of the game. It's a third of the game. Then they never want to recognize him when it's should. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Him and Morton Anderson. I think Morton might be in, but if not, they should both be in. A lot of Hall of very good players that we just rattled off. I like Harrison might have the best edge because that iconic play, defensive player of the year. Hines Ward, I think he's still Hall of very good. If he was on another pass heavy team, I think he would have had the yardage to keep up with these guys. But people from that era, man, you look at their numbers and yeah, a 2-time Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, you think that would be enough too, but just the overall numbers, it's kind of he's a bubble guy. Him and Harrison are bubble guys. I'd love to see Big Snacks get in. He was one of the top 2 traditional nose tackles of that era that was a dominant force, but he's not going to make it. Ferry Hall of very good, Porter Hall of very good. It's going to be tough.
Let me ask you this:
I'd love to see him in there, but
I give you 10 names.
Do
any of them get in this year?
No.
All right.
There's too many Pittsburgh Steelers already in. It's already a battle for us. No.
All right. Finally, last activity. We always have these activities
real quick,
on Friday.
Pitt has 2 guys eligible. People who went to Pitt. I saw 2 names. I can't remember who they are. I know that Pitt has a chance to get at least one more in again. Yeah.
Maybe
Penn State had 2.
Shady McCoy, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry because I hope I remember because I figured we would talk about it. Yeah.
All right, Mike. Who is the best 0-2 team left? Because it is Friday and we like activities. So many activities.
So much.
I'm going to give you the names of the 0-2 teams that's left in the NFL. You tell me which one is the best, and then we do have to move on because we're getting close here. Who's the best 0-2 team in the NFL right now? The Chargers, the Bengals, the Vikings, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Cardinals, the Texans, the Bears, or the Panthers?
For me, it's a toss-up between the Vikings and the Bengals. Vikings, that defense sucks. Bengals, Joe Burrow is who knows what's going on there. It's one of those 2 teams. It's hard. I can't pin it down. It's between those 2 teams. And both factors are, big factors right now.
Those are pretty. You expect the Panthers, you expect the Bears, the Cardinals, the Texans, but Minnesota, the Bengals, the Patriots, Broncos, and Chargers. I think should at least all these teams should have one win.
Yeah,
and they will. Most of them are going to get their first win this weekend. Yeah. I would have to look at the schedule to see who they're playing.
Gun to my head, I'd take Cincinnati because I think Burrow will turn it around. That Vikings defense, I don't think they're going to turn it around.
Yeah. And you got, San Diego or Los Angeles. But you just don't know with Joe Burrow. You don't know what his health is.
I know that's what's killing me. Yeah, that's a big mystery. What's going on with him?
9 games left, Mike. 9 games left in the Pittsburgh Pirates baseball season, and they are, Mike, 9 games under 500. It just so have it that they win yesterday and win the series against the Cubs 2-1. They win 8-6. Their record is now 72-81. They are 9 games under with 9 games left. There's no way. I'm talking to some people and they think that they're going to streak it out and get the. There's no way in the world. But I guess for being this close, this season wasn't a complete loss because people only expect 500 from this team.
Hey, when you have the bar lowered so low to where as you trip over it, people will applaud you. I guess you take that as a compliment. The bar was already set so low. So them finishing 500 for me is not a feat. We improved our record by such and such. That's nice. You're still right now sitting 15 games out of first. You're come on, if 500.
Big Stacks 0 for 4 last night in this game that they win and put up 8 runs. Palacios has a nice pinch hit home run.
That was nice.
Connor, Joe, and Andahar both have 3 hits last night. Big games for them. Johan Oviedo goes 6 innings, gives up 4 hits, 5 walks, 5 Ks. Bednar gets the save. Game 1 of 3 tonight against Cincinnati. In Cincinnati starts at 6:40. All right, Mike. Why don't you go and talk about the website?
The 2dumyinzers.com. The number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Oh my God, man. Everything you need for us is over there. All of our links for all of our socials where you can watch and listen to the show, merch store, the blog that gets updated. That should be updated tomorrow. Or no, Sunday. It'll be updated Sunday. Yes, to preview the game.
All right, go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumyinzers.com. Again, www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike, here we go. We got with our Raider trivia. So the Steelers play this week. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. What is the longest pass play in Raiders history? I'm going to give you 4 numbers. Then you'll think about it, and then we'll see where we're at. What is the longest play in Raiders history, Mike? Is it 89 yards? Is it 93 yards? Is it 97 yards or 99 yards? Again, 89, 93, 97, 99. It sounds like a gas pump. But go ahead and think that over. We are live, everybody, for every day, 7 days a week, from Monday to Sunday, every week. We're right here live. If you'd rather listen to the podcast, we upload the brand new show that we do every day that day up on Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. That way you can check it out on video, or you could just listen to it in podcast form. Go check it out. Mike, what is the longest pass play in Raider history? Was it 89 yards, 93 yards, 97 yards, or 99 yards? What do you think?
I'm going with 99 yards.
You got to, right?
Yes. I'm 100% certain that's the answer.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and lock you in on the 99 yards. There you go. And we should have some kind of sound effect for you. There you go, Mike. You are locked in. If that wouldn't have happened, you wouldn't have been locked in. So here we go. What is the longest pass play in Raider history? Is it A, 89 yards, B, 93 yards, C, 97 yards, D, 99 yards? Mike said D, 99 yards. And this play was made in 1983 from a pass by Jim Plunkett to Cliff Branch. And the play was, in fact, 99 yards.
Boom.
There you have it.
I could have done Derpy's defense. I don't know. It was before I was born.
98% of sports, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything before we take off, Mike?
Yeah, Steeler fans, like Ryan said before, this team is the 1980s Steelers. Get ready for a long season.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I think we're going to win.
It's going to be frustrating.
It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be long. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be a lot of these crazy games that the Steelers get involved in, like they do. Look at last year. I think it's going to be a very similar year, unless I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out what happened between last year and this year, and to how things regressed with how much work that we put in, pretty much on every level.
Yeah,
I just don't know. This is confusing. We're gonna have to. It's gonna take a few more games.
Outside of Watt, Highsmith, and George Pickens, everyone's taking a step back.
I'd like to, I think in a couple of weeks we're going to get a better idea. We'll get a better idea if this is what we're going to have all year. We're going to get a better idea of possibility there's going to be some kind of turnaround. Give us a couple more weeks. Let's get to this way mark, and I think you get at least get a little bit more solid of idea based off of what we're seeing.
I think if the defense just shores up the run game,
which we haven't seen.
I know. If they shore that up, that's going to help the passing game even more. So teams, we won't have to bite on the play action. Teams will have to pass more, get more of a pass rush going. That's our strength.
We are we have a very, very weak schedule too. So we have that going for us down the road. I mean, we're already 1-0 in the division, where a team like Cincinnati's already 0-2 in the division.
Yeah.
So, there are things going our way. But I guess only time will tell, Mike. Tonight, high school football. Tomorrow, we'll talk some college. And then, of course, Sunday's game day. The Steelers play the Sunday night game out of Las Vegas against the Raiders. So a lot of football starting up, man. My favorite time of the year. The mornings are cold, and the footballs, and the nights have football. And
yes, it's perfect. It's the best time of the year.
Best time of the year.
Best time of the year.
We do want to thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always.
Yes.
For Mike, myself, to Dum Yinzers.